Welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Coach Red, where we bring you all the news stories, takes, and opinions about your favorite teams from the Pacific North fresh, from the good to the bad to the Mariners.
The first place Mariners, baby.
The first Mariners is right. They lost a game total in the lead, so now they are 1.5 games over Texas now. After a 3-3 week, and the title of this episode is Back to Reality because that is what has been the reality for the Mariners this year. They still find themselves 2 games above 500, though. But before we break down the week that was, I want to tell you a little bit about us. If you're looking for a guy that is going to will Cal back to health by supporting him on Thursday at a Tacoma Rainiers game. Just checking up on our biggest of dumpers. Looking for a guy like me, your boy Coach Red. You can find me on X at the real Coach Red, on Instagram at the real underscore Coach Red, TikTok at the real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. And if you're looking for a guy that has probably written in his dream journal and has penned many of get well soon cards to Cal, and a few guys on this team where this team is getting more injured and more healthy at the same time, but he's going to be writing them all sweet little notes. It's Kane.
Yep, I have this cat named Cal, so maybe that might be the reason why he's so bad because I named a cat after him. But yeah, I'm Kane. Find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok, Kane0624. Also follow the show's socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. False. Do it, freaking do it. He used to be picked up, but like he's right back here demanding that I pet him.
Yep. Well,
Little dumper indeed.
and the Mariners this week. They win their first 2 games against the Mets, fall in the series finale, and then go on the road, lose the opener, win game 2. Um, we're in a position to win game 3, get walked off in the ninth inning. So a mixed bag, right? The offense definitely wasn't as dynamic as it was the previous week, and that's going to be reflected in the stats that we go over today. And then when you look at the pitchers, they're not as effective either. So going into a new week, it's a long roadie. You've got 4 games in Baltimore, then 4 games or 3 games in DC, taking on the Nationals. So by far the longest roadie they've had this year, and a chance for some of these guys to bounce back a little bit. But they are still hitting the ball out of the ballpark, which is good to see. So, and that's going to be the MO of the Mariners, just getting enough guys to get on base and then dealing with some of the injuries, right? JP gets hit in the hand over the weekend and ends up missing the final 2 games, gets placed on IR today. Ryan Bliss gets the call up. And then you've got Colt Emerson, who's going to start at shortstop, has a little back tightness. Um, should be young, should be good to go, and gave Cole Young his first career start at shortstop in the bigs.
It's interesting to see, to be completely honest with you. But hey,
We're
we're
not going to
here.
talk about that one today,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. Is
But
that a big jar of tea?
yes, you
Oh,
got JP that's now on the IL, but you should be relatively close with Donovan and Cal.
I honestly have not heard much about Brendan Donovan
I
and
haven't
his
either.
whole thing. I've like been pretty transparent with Cal and what's going on with him, but like Brendan Donovan, I just feel like you haven't heard a thing. I've tried to look up stuff. Jerry's just like it on his own time.
Yep. So, but let's talk about the guys that are here. And we've got some guys. It we have our picks to click in there that did not factor into the top guys, but um guys nonetheless. So, first guy, Dominic Canzone, batted 438 on the week, had 3 runs, 7 hits, one double, one homer, 2 RBIs.
Yeah, Dom has been very spicy as of lately. The dude's just hitting the ball very, very, very hard. And what he did in Detroit, back to back at bats, I mean, clips the top of the wall and then clears like the batter's eye,
That
it
ball was
seemed like.
smoked. Like
Oh my gosh.
450, one, I believe,
Yeah.
107 off the bat. Ball's absolutely tanked.
The thing I love that I'm seeing from Dom this year, right, is the RBI production from him. It's not just solo homers anymore. He's actually getting guys in scoring position, and not as often, but hey, man, it's happened more than we've thought it might this year.
You're not wrong. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to see him. He is doing a good job lacing the ball up. Like he had, a couple of weeks that were made it interesting with some of the guys that were coming back, right? With Robles on the
Uh-huh.
return, he was kind of skidding, but he's been able to come back. And another guy that we're not going to talk about this because he didn't have the ABs to get there, but Rob Refsnyder had another solid week, right around 300.
Mhm.
So just
One
didn't have
last
enough at bats.
one last thing on Dom. Sure raising that price or that stock for the deadline because once Brendan Donovan's back, I don't know what you do with this lineup.
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, you're going to be at the point where once he's back, then you look at Wisdom going down, and then
Sure.
you you look at the catcher position, and I think that's going to be where there's going to be a little bit more uh, to do, right? Because
Hmm.
Pareda, what he's been able to do, and that's the perfect lead in because Pareda was our second leading hitter on the week. Batted 429, uh, scored 1 run, 6 hits, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and I think going into today's game, he's rocking a 6 game hitting streak.
Yep, got 7.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're not talking about this week, okay?
It's
But
that's
he did.
okay.
But he
It's
did.
awesome. It's
You aren't
cool to
wrong.
talk about. Like what you're getting out of him is awesome.
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I
he was billed as a defense first guy, but his ability to get on base, he takes his walks too, which is nice.
yes.
And he's run into 2 balls, this year so far. But he also just has a knack for shooting it in the outfield. And um, he had an AB with the bases loaded. I think it was on Saturday, and he absolutely stung a ball to center field.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the ball was roped just right to the center fielder.
I will say like I still love Mitch Carver on this team, to be real with you.
I mean, it's the big knock on Paredes is he's so bad at challenging behind the
So
plate.
bad. I mean, he was like sorry to keep bringing it up tonight, but he was like fine-ish tonight outside of one outrageous one. But
Well, then you ran into Sunday's game with Laz Diaz behind the plate where he did not call the best game. And I mean, just there were so many that were so close that both teams were out of challenges. But I think the fifth inning because and
that
then
is
there were
six.
egregiously bad
Yeah.
calls.
I was like waiting and waiting for the game to be over so I could go take a nap yesterday. And I honestly didn't finish it because I was like, it's happening again. I'm turning off the game. If they win, they win. If they lose, whatever, I'm going to bed.
That'll happen. But before he hit the IL, JP Crawford clocked in with another good week. Batted 364, scored 2 runs, had 4 hits, one double, one homer, and the home run was a solo shot.
JP was just starting to finally figure it out.
He
And
he's been
my
hot.
my goodness was he just rushing the ball left and right. And it sucks that he got hit in the hand. He gets hit in the hand quite a bit. And I think that's been his most. I don't know. It just sucks that he's hurt. At least he's on the 10-day and hopefully is back after that. Because as you said, the reinforcements are coming. Cal should be back. on the next homestand,
I would
I
think so.
believe. And depending on where you are with Brendan Donovan at this point, you're where you could just pick him up, or he meets you at a place, and boom, he's back in the lineup.
Yeah.
But no, JP was awesome this week.
Well, and JP is the average is starting to create up. The power numbers are have been there. Um, but he just puts together just good professional at bats, right? That's the
Mhm.
big thing.
Yeah, not having him in the lineup the last couple of days has just been a little bit weird because, like, with the way he's swinging it, you have to have him in there. He's been such a good offensive weapon for you the past 2.5 weeks that it just is a damn shame.
Yeah. I was trying to find to see if there's any updates on Brendan Donovan while we were kind of on the
Yeah,
subject of
there's really
um
not.
no.
Not a word. Like, I haven't seen him in Arkansas's lineup. Like, I mean, let me go check something, and so I'm not wrong. Let me
Yeah,
go to their
okay,
minor
fine.
league. Let me go to their minor league team real quick.
All right, and I'll go since we're talking about guys that are relatively young around those guys that are rehabbing. Let's talk about Cole Young, who batted 333 on the week. He had one run, 8 hits, 2 RBIs, and has been filling in the leadoff spot for JP. And he had a walk-off winner, I believe, against, was that one against the
It
Mets?
was the sec yeah, because it was back to back nights, and he blooped it in the left, and I forgot who was on third. I think it was Randy on third or something, and Soto threw his glove up trying to deke him, and it landed near the foul line, and he shattered his bat.
Hey, that's the way that a bat wants to go out. It's on a game winner. Doesn't matter how it lands, but you know, Cole Young has been just a nice steady force within this lineup, and with his contact ability that we've seen, the power numbers probably aren't to the level that we expected going into the year with what we saw last year and just the raw power that he does have. But you are seeing him get on base a lot more, and
Mhm.
he's consistently driving guys in. And I think that being at the top of that lineup, and especially with some of the production that you're getting out of Pareda and
Bill Emerson.
Colt Emerson, it's going to help. And then Ryan Bliss, if he's down at the bottom of the lineup with the juice that he's got on the base paths.
Bro, if he would have caught a little bit more of the barrel on that hit today, he would have got it in the gap, and good things would have happened. I love Ryan Bliss for this team. I think he should have been there instead of Leo Rivas. Just Ryan Bliss has so much speed and sneaky pop, but
Yeah.
we can't talk about him this week. Can't talk about him much.
No, but we can talk about Josh Naylor, batted 300 on the week, 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 doubles, 1 homer, and 2 RBIs.
Yeah, Josh Naylor was low key a menace in Detroit.
Apparently, he's the dirtiest player in the league, not Frambar, and they even threw at him. They even threw
Yeah,
at Naylor. It wasn't even Frambar, but God, I hate Frambar. He's the dirtiest guy in the league, if I'm being
I
honest.
I don't like the Tigers. I don't like Kerry Carpenter. There's a
Plus,
lot
we've
about
always struggled against an AJ Hinch led team, right? And
always frustrating, dude. So frustrating.
but Naylor was definitely frustrating them. And, it's good to see him continue to climb out of that early season hole, right? His numbers are, he's still, I think, just slightly below the 100 line of WRC, but it's not by much. And he was one of the worst qualified hitters through like the first month of the season. So to see him
Mhm.
back, really starting to turn that corner, it's starting to click at the right time, and you're starting to see the wins come when you're true blood studs that are on this team are starting to play better. Like in the likes of, Julio, Randy's been playing at a high level this whole year. And now you're seeing Naylor come around too. And it's really helping solidify this team.
And the supporting cast is just doing what the supporting cast needs to do for this team. I mean, your 7, 8, 9 hitters are constantly getting on base or hitting the ball out.
Yep.
It's a constant.
And then we'll get to our picks to click. The one that fared a little bit better was Julio Rodriguez, batted 208 on the week. He had 4 runs, 5 hits, one double, a homer, 2 RBIs, and he stole 4 bases on the week. It kind of took the training wheels off Julio this week.
Yeah, I it's good to see, honestly. Get him in a scoring position. He's one of the fastest guys in the league and uses I mean, the only thing I worry about is his head when he's stealing because boy does he just get airheaded sometimes. But no, like when he's on base, he's creating havoc, and that's something that this team needs. I mean, we thrive when we play chaos ball, and he's the ultimate epitome of it. And so, I I think you got it for the hitters this
Yeah.
week. Luke was
Luke
trash.
Rayleigh, 100 batting average on the week. Didn't score any runs. Had 2 hits, one of those being a double. But what we did get to see this whole week was uh, Luke Rayleigh on those 2 walk-offs, just barreling at the guy that
It was
supplied the walk-off winner.
he almost got there because he was on second and running to third for Cole Young.
Yeah, he was, I think, the second person to Cole Young. Like
Yeah,
when that guy gets his mind on where he wants to be, he is going to look a little awkward, but he is going to get there at the
love Luke
maximum effort
Rayleigh.
possible.
God, I love Luke Rayleigh. So fun.
All right. Let's pop over to the pitchers. Let's start with 0 ERA relievers of the week. Welcome back, Gabe Spire. Pitched in 3 games, had 3 innings pitched, picked up a win. He had 3 Ks and 1 walk. And I know that it was a pretty big spot where he comes in with the tying run on third in yesterday's game and gets out of that without allowing the guy to score. I believe it was ground ball to third and then a shallow fly to left and then finishes it with a punchy. And it's very nice to have a healthy Gabe Spire back on this team.
Yeah, you needed another dominant force outside of Herrera and Brash, and we get to Brash next week. That's going to be fun. Um, but Anders Munoz kind of lost it. You need somebody to come in and slam the door, and I feel like having Gabe Spire back is that because of how intense he is on the mound. And he's been flirting with like 97.
Yep.
Like what we're seeing from Gabe Spire, like, yeah, we've seen Ferrer throw 99. Cool. We don't see Gabe Spire throw this hard.
Also, I feel like Gabe Spire, when he's bringing it up at a lesser velocity than Farrar, it actually jumps out of his hand a little bit more and catches hitters a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more by surprise.
I agree.
All right, another 0 ERA guy is Matt Brash. Pitched in 2 games, had 2 innings pitched, had 2 Ks and 1 walk, and just another solid week for Matt Brash. Welcome back as well.
Yes. Yes.
We're talking about some of these guys that have been dealing with injuries, and with the 6-man rotation, fresh off of the piggyback starts, right? Um, your bullpen is lighter right now, and
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna have to make a decision, I think, after they get through this long stretch, a bunch of games and no days off, because I think it makes sense to go 6-man right now because of what Miller and Castillo have been doing with their time on the hill. But I do think that Luis Castillo could be a guy that you see in the bullpen before too long. And
Agreed.
being able to take off, some multi-inning appearances and really give you the ability to attack teams with your high leverage arms when asked to do so. All right. The last zero ERA guy on the week is Jose Ferrar. 4 games, three and a third innings pitched, 3 Ks, 3 walks, and just another zero ERA week for the guy that it's not always pretty when he's out there. And you
Yeah.
would think with the stuff that he possesses that he would be a bigger strikeout threat, but he just goes in and gets people out.
Yes.
He doesn't
Lot
care
of
how he does it. He doesn't
lot
care.
of soft contact and pop flies.
A lot of
Like,
soft contact on 99. Wild.
yeah. And you know, you might just have to start playing Wild Thing when he comes in. Like, he gives me that vibe. Doesn't know where it's going, but when it goes, it's good.
All right. Let's hop over to a couple of starters before we get to our picks to click because neither of them were that great, but some were better than others. But let's start off with Bryce Miller. Zero ERA on the week, pitched 1 game, 6 innings pitched, got the dub, only gave up 1 hit, 9 Ks and 2 walks.
Yeah, Bryce is him
He
right
looks
now.
so comfortable right now, so comfortable out there.
Oh, he had something wrong in his elbow last year. You couldn't tell.
Well, and I think that with how he's pitched this year and his comments that he made about not wanting to be the piggyback starter, um, he has done everything that you need to see to have him start a game. Like there's no
He's
more Bryce Miller in the pen. No more.
Yeah, it's almost like the Emerson. I, he's more polished than Emerson has been up until this year, right? But like, it's the Emerson effect. He's so good you can't take him out. So good. Over his last 4 starts or 5 starts, he's given up 2 runs.
I think it was only 1 run because he gave up 2 runs when he was the back end of the piggyback start when they had a
Yeah,
big lead.
yeah. I mean, the dude is just an absolutely dominant. The whiffs. Oh my! I think he's getting the most on the team. And I think it's battling with Emerson Hancock for whiffs.
Yeah, I mean, 9 Ks in 6 innings. It's just a solid outing, and I don't think he gave up a hit until the fourth. So
Yeah.
he's looking good. But another guy surprisingly looked good last week, Luis Castillo, 1.59 ERA on the week. Pitched 1 game, pitched 5 and 2/3, gave up the 1 run. He had 5 Ks, 1 walk.
No,
And
that was least
the
for you.
the thing that got him was really 2 long at bats.
Yeah.
Like I think he had, I think I think it was Carpenter had a 13 pitch at bat with him. I think he had another one that was like 9 or 10 and really just blew up his pitch count. But since they have done the piggyback thing, he sees that the pressure is on and he's doing well.
Very well. It's Luis Castillo you need. I mean, your spot's still on the line. I mean, not really. Not really.
Uh,
But
I think that either way that this puts the Mariners in a better position, whether that means that Luis Castillo is still going out there and giving you meaningful innings, or he's raising his trade value to be able to look at a market that usually fiends for starting pitching at the trade
mhm,
deadline, and you've got a guy that has a track record of doing well in big time moments, multiple time All Stars, pitched very well in all but one start in the playoffs for the Mariners. And
mhm.
yeah, I think that Luis Castillo is doing what he needs to do to show his worth to the team after a little bit of rockiness last year on the road and then a little bit of shakiness to the beginning of this year.
Yeah, and that was in Detroit that he did it. I mean, it, hats off to him, dude. It was awesome to see. So they still hate Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
Kerry Bonds is what they call him.
Yeah, when
So
he's playing us.
yeah,
All right, we'll get into our picks to click from last week. You had Logan Gilbert. He had a 5.06 ERA, pitched 1 game, pitched 5 and 1/3, gave up 3 runs, did get the win, uh, 8 Ks, 1 walk.
Side of the runs, dude. That's Logan Gilbert, baby. Eight
Yep.
strikeouts. Take
Just
that.
home run ball still biting him a little bit, and
It's his
hoping
biggest
that
weakness.
you're hoping that I'm personally hoping he can get a little bit deeper into games too. I need the Logan Gilbert that we would see going 6+ pretty consistently, and just since he got back from injury last year, just the length hasn't been there. He's had his, a game or two, but a lot of them he's not getting to the sixth inning, and I think that
Hmm.
we really do need to see that from Logan going forward.
Oh yeah, I mean, outside of the home run ball, it was just that was a great outing from him. I will take eight strikeouts from him any day of the week.
All right, and we'll go to my pick to click, Andres Munoz. Um,
Yeah,
10.8 ERA, pitched in two games, inning and two thirds, gave 2 runs, got straddled with the loss in Sunday's game. He had 1K and 2 walks. He did look solid against the Mets, though.
did look solid against the Mets, but blown save. I think I get the win on that one because you
Uh,
proclamated it on the last episode. You were so confident. I think I get the win on the pitcher side.
you do, and he was Cole
Spinning
Young being about 6 inches taller from having a 0 ERA week, a save, and another good outing on a bounce back. So, um, it is tough because when you are having your leverage arms pitch the amount they are, you need your closer to be able to shut the door. And it's been a little rocky this year, right?
a
The
little bit.
stuff is still there. He's still he's still getting a ton of whiffs, but the command isn't always there on a night in, night out basis, and people are able to eliminate some pitches.
So I saw something earlier. Don't know who it was from, but it's like he's got his fastball right now is DOA. It like he's primarily throwing sliders right now. He's not throwing his fastball at all,
He's also
and
throwing the change.
that's real bad because his fastball is his pitch. Like he needs to set the table with it and then pull the rug out with the slider. That's his MO. And if the fastball's not there, I think he needs to go to a little bit of a setup role right now and maybe be a pivot guy for a minute to get some of that confidence back.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it lays out. I think they're going to keep him in that role, right?
Of course,
He's
but
got the best stuff went on in that entire bullpen, and I don't think that it's particularly close. I mean, Brash has some filthy stuff as well, but uh, Castillo is definitely your top of the line guy.
mm,
But we'll hop into this week's picks to click, and we've got a special uh, picker for the week, and we'll let her do uh, pitcher and a hitter. So let's see who she picks. Come on over. Who are you gonna pick for your pitcher of the week?
George Kirby.
solid
I
pick.
George Kirby. I believe he'll be getting a start against the Orioles, and the two teams that I feel like George has kind of struggled the most with, even though you only see him in limited times, are the Orioles and the Mets. Like the Mets in the Little League game last year went crazy on him,
Mhm.
and he did not have a great week against the Mets, right? So hoping he can exercise some of those demons against the Orioles this week. And then who's your hitter?
Julio.
Yep. I thought you were just going for the long Julio, but
Yeah,
Julio took a little bit of a dip this week, but also sitting there still having the power numbers, and we're seeing him steal
mhm.
some more bases, which is good to see. Thank you
Yeah.
for thank you for coming in and making some picks. All right, Kane, who do you got
Yep.
for your pitcher pick to click? Hopefully you weren't
Did
going to pick George Kirby. He's
I
off the table.
wasn't. I was gonna go Bryce Miller all the way this week. Like we touched on, Bryce Miller is him right now. I he's looking like It's a tie between him and Emerson on who looks the best on this squad right now. I mean Brian Woo's been great, but Bryce Miller is on a different level. This is the best we've ever seen him. I think even better than second half Bryce Miller 2 years ago. So give me Bryce Miller this week. I got a great feeling about him. Coach Red, who do you got for yours?
Well, I'm just gonna piggyback on top of yours, and I'm gonna take Luis Castillo. Um,
Yeah,
give me
have
one
to.
more good Luis start this week. Um, and he's looked good, right? He
Get 5
has
strikeouts
even,
from him this week.
I mean, before we got into the piggyback role, he didn't get deep into a game, but was probably his best outing since opening day, and ever since then, he's looked extremely solid. Like, giving up 1 or 0 runs. Um, yeah, it's been good to see, right? And I think that give me, I like Wu, I like Gilbert, I like Emerson, but Emerson also threw tonight. I was going to try to avoid him because
Had a
I
good
did make,
night.
I did make all of these picks prior to tonight's game. So depending on what comes next, like you can't get mad.
Yeah,
All right, who do you got for your hitter? Pick to click.
I'm so torn because like Randy's due for another huge week. I feel like he's due, and Josh Naylor's been so solid. But the last time I had these two up for my pick to click because it's so hard when Cal's not here, being Cal. Super hard to pick somebody. Um, I just gotta go Randy this week. I've got a really good feeling about him. He's still been awesome all year. Had little slides here and there, but instantly bounces back. Off to a pretty decent start to the week, but I just he's finding holes and getting on base and stealing bags and the occasional pimp job. Like I'll take that from Manny anytime. He's at Camden Yards. He's played there before. Expect a ball or two to go out. I just feel really really good about Randy this week. Coach Red, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Cole Young on the week.
Pick.
Manning the leadoff spot, his ability to get on base, I think is going to be key. It would also be cool to see him hit a moonshot this week, so I'm going to call it at least it's a homer this week because the ball just jumps off his bat, right?
Mhm.
When he gets all of it, it goes. And really being a table setter, and I'm hoping to see, you know, 5 or 6 runs scored this week. That would be very beneficial to this team. But Cole Young's been hot. I picked him before, and I think when I picked him last time, it sparked the like 10 game hitting streak, 9 game hitting streak he had. So
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and restart that again with him being at the top of the lineup, and he's coming off a week where he had 333.
Yeah, I hope both of our pick to clicks do extremely well. I just hope mine do better than
I
yours because
just
I need to gain some ground in this race that we have going.
I just hope that all of the picks to click just click like crazy. And we've got 2 extra picks to click to watch out for this week. And if we have six players that absolutely ball out, and with
They look
the
pretty
caliber of
good.
players they are and how important where they're at on the starting rotation and where they're batting in the lineup, yeah, that would be good to have our 1, 2, 4 hitter have a big week, right?
Yeah.
And while they're having that big week, don't be afraid to hop on social media and go over and give us a little follow. You can find me, your boy Coach Red, on X at the Real Coach Red, on Instagram at the _ Coach Red, TikTok at the Real Coach Red. Also find the show over on YouTube. Search Kicking It with Coach Red. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and leave a comment or two. Kane, where you at?
Find me over on Twitter, Kane2406, TikTok, Kane0624. Also follow the show socials over on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Red Pod. False, false, false. Do it, freaking do it.
And as always, stay fresh.
Stay fresh, peeps.
Peace.